where will we go? What will NGC do for you? I give you 10 building blocks. The first thematic area is good governance and social sector development. That's one theme. The second theme is economic growth and competitiveness. The third one, social justice and human security. Let me take the first 4 building blocks. The new Sierra Leone must have good governance. It must have good governance. It must invest in social development. Must. Why good governance? My brothers and sisters, if the leadership is not right, you remain backward. I told you some of the theories earlier. If the leadership is not visionary, committed to the common people, and put Salon first, we will remain behind. So this is why for us thematic area 1 is good governance. We will fight corruption. We have to fight corruption. We estimate in NGC that 60 million to 100 million is lost in this country just because people literally steal it. You give them money to build a school, they chop half. You give them money to bring clean water, they steal it. But you know, our society celebrates those people. They build the big houses, they have the best jeeps, and yes, we dance behind them. So what do? They go back and steal. We celebrate those people, not the professors or the thinkers, not the engineers or the doctors, but the guy who steals the most and builds 4 houses overnight. We say this is Abio. If we don't fix that, if we don't fight that corruption, we can't move forward. So number 1, we have to fight it. How? We, the leadership, must be ready to have integrity. It starts from the top. You set the tone. Yes, regularly we declare our assets. I agree with what the Citizen Manifesto says. Regularly we show you what we have. So Kande Mkela, before you came in, maybe you had so much. Great. We know there will be capital gains. We expect that in 5 years you will have so much. So if I have 5 times that amount, don't ask me. And we have to do it for everybody. But what do we see today? A kleptocracy. A handful of people own almost everything in this country. Let me tell you, the last day of Parliament, 7th of December 2017, while you were sleeping in McKinney, they were approving bills in your Parliament. They approved some companies that you've never heard of. You've never heard of. People here. 2 of those companies are giving your minerals to a set of people in this country. Tell me, since colonial days, did any Sierra Leonean's father own a mine in this country? Did any Sierra Leonean own bauxite? Well, very soon some will. But that belongs to you. It belongs to you. They formed companies already quickly. Why? Because they're used to doing it for 10 years and nobody asks them. That's corruption. A handful of people grab wealth, you don't know, they form companies, it belongs to them. You can challenge that. But it is complicity because the parliament approved it. So you see how bad corruption is. It's not one man, it's a group. But it is also the governance structure that approves corruption. The constitution says, to sim et trisim, no for be parliamentarian, it's for the minister. Not also the constitution says, to sim trisim for sim, not for be parliamentarian. Not also. But we just found out now, this week, last week, that it is the law. Those who were appointing them, who know the law better than you and me, they say they're fine. Corruption is also when you use the constitution the wrong way to go after people. That's corruption. That's corruption. So the new Sierra Leone that you and I, the new Sierra Leone that you and I will create. The new Sierra Leone that you and I will create will have no reserved domains for the corrupt. We will plug the holes. We will plug the holes where people easily steal the money that was meant for the schools and the hospitals. To put the toilets in the schools, to pay the nurses, we'll plug that hole. Point number 2, we will invest in a social sector accelerator program. Healthcare will invest big. Ebola taught us something, that we were told that the healthcare system in Sierra Leone is great, that it is free medical because they built it well. Ebola came, it wiped it out. It showed the fragility of that sector. We have to invest heavily in healthcare. Our dream in NGC is to build at least one first-class hospital in every region. We take people to Ghana to test. I have to take somebody there soon to Ghana to test. We could do it here. In fact, there was a time I discussed that with President Anpai Kuruma, because next to me in the UN was the Atomic Energy Agency. They can train countries and help them build capacity to do cancer tests, initial stages. So I know we can do it here. I will not build mighty party offices for you to see. I'll build hospitals. Number 3, education. Education. No nation will advance without good education. I assure you, the NGC, the future we want to build, the moment we take over, we will declare an education emergency. Education emergency. Why is it an emergency? The system is broken. We have sexually transmitted grades. We have people graduating from secondary school that cannot write an essay. We have people graduating, they can't work in factories. We have people graduating in disciplines, nobody will hire them. We will change that. We will review the curricula. The curricula has to fit the job market. We want change. We'll bring change. We want change. And we'll bring it. We'll bring it. It is not fair. It is not fair that our children have and their parents have to look for 500,000 loans just to get an application form. We'll abolish it. And I hope, Father, in Unimac, as Unimac already has online registration, I hope we make it online. It is possible. So we abolish those payments of unnecessary fees. We will invest in vocational technical education. We need the VOTEC system. We need better plumbers, better electricians, and others who can work well in the artisanal sector and on factories. We will depoliticize education. There is too much political interference in education. So our faculty cannot focus enough on academic excellence. You have a long list of PhDs, honorary PhDs I have received around the world. It is because the foundation was built in Sierra Leone. It is because Jala University and CKC, FSSG and others gave me a good grounding. Teaching, they value roads where they can steal money. So that is education. You will see more details, but those are the highlights. Thank you very much. We're still on governance and social sector, the theme 1, right? So I'll rush now and go to the next. But those are all ideas we build together. Yeah? And we will establish special programs for the disabled, the women, but particularly a special fund for youth entrepreneurship. The government cannot create jobs for everybody. It is not possible. Let nobody fool you. Not all of you can be civil servants. But we need to give you the tools in schools and universities so you can start your own businesses. So a special focus, special programs on entrepreneurship and small and medium enterprises. So that is for governance. I touched on corruption, accountability. I touched on health. I touched on education. Yeah, and I explained a little bit. So I said that theme is governance and social